Hello, welcome to the Pursuit of Excellence with me, Anthony Beirudi. Need your help real quick. If you like the videos, hit the thumbs up button right below, and please subscribe to get access to our latest interviews. Hit the subscribe button right there. Also, we'd love to hear from you about our interviews. In the comment section, tell us who you want us to interview or what you thought about the whole thing. Without further ado, enjoy the interview. All right, we're very excited today. We're being joined by Cassandra Brown. Thank you very much for joining us, Cassandra.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Gladly. So let's go back to the beginning. When did you get involved with sport? Where'd you grow up? Give us a little rundown.
I grew up in Vernon, BC, in a small town. I started playing basketball probably, actually don't know the age, probably like third or fourth grade, somewhere around there. But started taking it seriously in high school. And then from there, I got involved with the provincial teams and whatnot, Basketball BC. And yeah.
So what high school did you go to?
I went to Fulton, Clarence Fulton.
Right, and you guys had a decent team. You had a couple other kids that took it pretty seriously. What was it like to go from a place where maybe everyone didn't take it seriously to then going to play on a provincial team back then and having everyone take it seriously?
Yeah, I feel like my high school team, we had a pretty solid team. A lot of the girls were pretty invested, and we put a lot of work in off the court as well. So I feel like that culture was kind of ingrained in me early, and then going into provincial team stuff pretty early as well, starting with was it RCT? Is that still a thing?
RTC, yeah, RTC instead of
RTC. Okay. Yeah, I started with RTC and then eventually got put into CP. And yeah, so that was kind of ingrained in me pretty early in my childhood growing up. So
yeah, for sure. So you as a player, you're pretty tall. How tall are you?
I'm like 6'2.5".
Okay, so 6'2.5". Growing up in BC, they usually throw you in the post, but you're a rare one where you would actually go to the perimeter and you could score from the wing and drive it a little bit. How has that kind of been like a big deal for you as a player, especially when you were younger? Maybe it was a little harder. People kept throwing you in the post. What was that like to kind of be like, nah, I think I'm better out here?
Yeah, it's weird because I never really felt like I was thrown into the post with my size. I know that most girls that grow up being tall are thrown into the post pretty early, but I feel like my coach in high school and within like the provincial team and everything, I always kind of had the freedom to go out on the perimeter, and I was never boxed in as a player, which I feel really grateful and lucky to not have been boxed in, because obviously it propelled me into getting to where I am today. And it's just, yeah, if I would have been boxed in since I was early, I feel like it would have been hard for me to get to where I am now. So
yeah, for sure. So what got you kind of picking basketball over maybe other sports? 'Cause I'm sure you're pretty good at other ones as well.
I was pretty nice at soccer growing up, I'm not gonna lie, but I think just kind of once I started getting a little bit older, I realized that I had the most potential in basketball, and I was most passionate about it as well. I put in a lot of hours on and off the court when I was in high school, and I got up super early every day. I beat like the janitors to the gym every morning. I was there late every night, and it was just something that I was really passionate about. So
Yeah, well, it worked out, so that's good. We know the results now. So you end up having a pretty good high school career. But who were some of the people you looked up to when you were kind of younger, and you kind of said, hey, I wouldn't mind my game being like that, or that was somebody that I kind of admired growing up?
yeah, honestly, I looked up to Kobe since I was a little girl. Rest in peace.
I remember that actually. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just loved him and just admired his work ethic like crazy. I remember I would watch his YouTube videos, I would read his article. Like, I just wanted to be exactly like him. And I remember like watching his workouts and reading about just his passion and determination for the game. And it just really, I wouldn't say inspired me, but it definitely like lit a spark inside of me that was kind of already there, just to push myself that much further, to want to be better and outwork my competition. So I would definitely say him.
Yeah, for sure. And so you finish up at Cal Malka, or no, Clarence Fulton. You were at Clarence Fulton.
Yeah.
What made you decide the university you decided to go to? What did you end up doing there? How was it like?
After basketball, BC, that's how I got recruited, going down to tournaments and End of the Trail, Oregon, San Diego. So that's kind of where I got my exposure from. And after that, I had a handful of universities that were interested in me in the States. I always kind of knew that I wanted to go play in America rather than stay in Canada. Nothing against staying in Canada. It was just a personal choice, and that's what I wanted. So yeah, and with the schools that were interested in me, it was a pretty easy choice. I don't know, something about Portland. I like the coaching staff, I like the girls, the style of play. It was still kind of close to home where my parents could make the drive and come watch me play. So yeah, I ended up choosing there, and I had a great experience there. I love college. It was so much fun. I miss it.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you talk about being a freshman. You remember being a freshman? What was that like, going in, kind of not being the lead player right off the top? What was it kind of like having to grow your wings?
I hated my life as a freshman the first couple of months. I'm not going to lie. But everyone goes through that as a freshman, like completely normal. But like you said, it's hard going from being like at the top of the totem pole your senior year of high school and then going back down to the bottom and having to work your way up. Yeah, just totally different. The workouts, everything, like it's just a huge adjustment. So it's kind of either like you're just put into a sink or swim situation. So it kind of tests your mental for sure that first year.
So what got you over the hump? What kept you going?
I would just say I've always been like very internally motivated. I always knew my potential growing up, and I think I always knew what I was capable of. So just wanting to prove myself and pave the way for myself and earn my spot.
So as time went on, you did earn your spot, and you did start to get more minutes. What was it like, kind of, finally getting the opportunities to make a bigger impact on the team?
Yeah, that first year is tough because nothing is given to you. You have to work for everything, but at the same time, that's motivating. I like that. So I was playing behind, she was, I think, a junior at the time. She was the leading scorer of our team. She was super talented. So I kind of looked up to her and just learned a lot from her and decided to use it more as a learning experience too, like learn from the older girls and kind of mold my game after them and use that to help motivate me and stuff too.
Yeah, for sure. So you end up graduating. What did you end up graduating with?
Communication. Well, I graduated in communications, and then I ended up using my fifth year to get a double major in sociology.
Oh, perfect.
Well. Yeah.
So you end up graduating. Your profile as a player skyrocketed actually after you graduated. You ended up joining a 3-point shooting contest. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, for people that don't really know, it was a really big deal back then. Tell us what happened there. How did you get invited, and what kind of happened?
Well, let me think back. It seems like so long ago now. It's funny. But so yeah, after season, it actually all happened because my assistant coach, she was emailing the people that were in charge of it, and I think I was like top 8 in the nation for 3-point percentage my fifth year. So she was emailing them like constantly, trying to get them to offer me a spot in the competition. But it literally was like a last minute thing. Like I think one of the girls had dropped out last minute, so I was like a fill-in position. So I think it was the day before the competition, they called and asked if I wanted to come, and I was so nervous. But at the same time, I also I had no expectations. I barely even knew anything about the competition. I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. So my coach called me and she was like, do you want to go to Indianapolis tomorrow? And I was like, all right. So her and her boyfriend at the time, who was kind of my mentor, he trained me and stuff outside of practice. We went to the gym like almost midnight the night before. He set up like PCP pipes in the gym, like pretending it was like a rack that I could shoot off of. And yeah, it was just like completely spur of the moment, spontaneous, flew out the next morning, and yeah, that was
So
that.
there's no breakdown. So where is it? Is it what's in Indianapolis?
Where? Sorry.
What you said you flew out to Indianapolis. What was there? Was it a tournament? What was it?
Oh, no, it was just being held at Butler University.
Right, and it was like a skills contest / fun scrimmage, correct?
Oh, yeah. So it's a State Farm contest. So I think there was a skill competition, 3-point competition for the men and women's side, and I think that was it. I'm
And it was
honestly
on
not sure.
ESPN, correct?
Yeah.
So what's it like? You get up there, you're the last person in. The first time you start shooting, what happens?
It was definitely a mix between nerves and excitement, but I feel like it almost worked out more in my favor because I was called up at the last minute, so I didn't really have time for all of like the nerves and expectations to set in. I was just kind of like happy to be there and never expected that to happen. So I was just enjoying the moment. But yeah,
How'd you do?
I won.
So you beat the girls, and then they do a crossover, if I recall correctly, correct?
Yeah. So honestly, I don't even remember. I think there was three rounds at first, or yeah, there was 3 rounds. So I won on the women's side, and then at the end, the women's winner and the men's winner competed against each other. So I competed against Kevin Pangos.
So Kevin Pangos, for those of us who don't remember, Kevin Pangos was like one of the top Canadians we have in the country, plays on the national team. He was like the lead guard at Gonzaga. Like, it was a really big deal. And he was known as like the best 3-point shooter in the country. So you go in there against Kevin Pangos and you end up beating him, and the place goes berserko. That had to be a pretty cool experience for you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like I said, I think I just had no expectations. So going into that last round, it was kind of just like, no one's expecting me to win. First of all, I'm a girl. Second of all, he's Kevin Pangos. Like, no one even knows who I am. So you know what? I'm just going to shoot. And yeah, it was so much fun. Like, the excitement in the building was crazy. Everyone was so supportive. Like, Kevin, he was great about it too. Yeah, it was a really special moment.
So for sure. So now you end up going to go play pro afterwards. Where'd you end up going, and what made you decide on going where it was?
Yeah, so excuse me, my first year I played in Poland. My agency that I signed with them after I won the 3-point competition. They got me the opportunity to go play there, and I just chose it because Poland's a really strong league. So I thought it would be a really good experience and good exposure to play there for my first season overseas. And yeah, it was great. It was a great experience. It's very good competition there, super strong.
So what was it like going from Clarence Fulton, you go to Portland all the way to Poland? That's got to be a big culture shock.
Yeah, it was. It was, but it wasn't. I think it all kind of just depends on like your personality and the type of person you are. I think I'm pretty adaptable. I kind of just fit in wherever I go. So as you know, obviously, since I was like 13, 14, I've kind of been living away from home. So I'm used to being on the road and kind of meeting new people and fitting in, playing on new teams and stuff. So that part wasn't too hard for me. I found it more exciting than anything. I love traveling. I love experiencing new places, meeting new people. So yeah, it was fun for me.
So you play your first year in Portland, it goes well. What happens next?
So I played my first year in Poland. I have to go back now. I'm getting old. My second year, I played in Athens, Greece. My third year, I played Slovakia Euro Cup. Then I went back to Greece and Athens. My fourth year, I played in Luxembourg last year, and playing in Sweden this season.
So, I mean, you're getting a pretty cool experience off the court, getting to see all these places. You've essentially become a world traveler. You know,
yeah.
What's been kind of the coolest part off the court that you've had to experience and been able to see?
So many places. I just love Europe in general. I love the culture here, the history. the lifestyle, the way of life is just the people here really enjoy life, and it's a lot more slowed down than back home. I would say definitely in America, Canadian culture is a little bit slower, but yeah, I would just say getting to see new places and meet new people. I've met so many amazing people since I have started playing overseas 6 years ago, and I've made some amazing friendships and relationships, and I think that is really special. So I would say that's my most favorite thing.
Yeah, for sure. So you ended up graduating with some really good players in BC, and to be one of the last ones still playing so many years later. Like, a lot of girls don't go play pro for a year or two maybe, but to keep going and to keep finding new places and new reasons to play. I bet, if we had taken polls when you were, let's call it 16, 17, I don't think too many people say, Cassandra's going to be playing 10 years from now in Europe. What kind of kept you going? What was the kind of the thing that kind of got you through it to keep trekking along?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Sometimes, yeah, I kind of stop myself and think about that too. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I never really would have expected me to be the one to be still playing and make it this far. Like you said, I play with a lot of really talented players, especially on the provincial team and stuff. So, I don't know. I would just say that I felt myself getting like better and better every year, and my game has kept evolving as I've grown up, and that kind of has motivated me and pushed me to keep playing as my game has grown. Yeah, I've always known my potential. I know what I'm capable of bringing to teams. So I always, just kind of wanted to keep pushing the envelope and see what more I can accomplish.
I think having that confidence is a big thing for girls, to be honest with you. I think having that inner confidence to know that you're capable of something, know that you're good enough, know that you belong, and to continually show it over and over and over again is a big deal. Like, one of the things I'm going to do after this, I'm going to show it to my team, and I'm going to tell them, you got to use this as an example, right? This girl literally started in a small town, and now she's going to play in Europe for her 5th year. Like, it's a big deal, and I don't think too many people see that very often. So it's kind of cool for me as somebody who was assistant coach on a team that you played on, got to be 10 years ago. It makes me feel old, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't. It didn't seem like it was that long ago, but it's been what? How long? I mean, what am I talking about? 10 years? It's been 13 years.
Bro, we're old.
Yeah, no, we're older than we look, apparently. Well, you anyway. So now what are kind of the goals that, like, do you do goal setting? Do you plan ahead? Like, do you write things down? Is that something that you do, or how do you kind of do stuff like that?
To be honest, no, but I do recommend that. I think it works really, really well for some people, especially when you're younger. I think that's really important to be able to do that. But no, I don't really do anything specific, to be honest. Yeah.
If you could go back in time and give a younger Cassandra Brown some advice, what would you tell her when like 14-year-old Cassandra Brown?
Oh, that's a good question. I would just say probably just enjoy the ride. I think a lot of people, it's easy to just kind of get caught up in everything, and it's great to have goals. It's great to want the best for yourself in your career, but I would just say enjoy it, especially the little moments. I always say, like, on road trips and stuff, like, you might not, or when you grow up, when it's all said and done, you might not remember the games or the last few moments of an important game, but you're going to remember the little things, like being on the road with your teammates and creating those special bonds and memories and relationships. I think that's really important.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a big deal. So who's kind of helped you the most get to where you are? Like, has any one or two specific people, been a big influence on you getting you to your spot?
I would definitely say my parents, especially my dad. Growing up, as you can attest, my dad drove me back and forth from Vancouver like every weekend growing up in high school. So definitely wouldn't be where I am today without my dad. So shout out to Rob.
Not Robbie.
Homie. Without mustache now. He's been mustacheless for years. I don't
No
think you've seen
way.
him. Yeah.
I was gonna go mustache just for today for him, but anyway, sorry, continue. So Pops, your mom obviously very supportive as well. I think she's a good balance to him. I think you need a little bit of balance in the world.
Yeah.
But both great people. I genuinely enjoyed both of them. What about on the court? Like, what about specific coaches and stuff that really kind of made a huge impact for you?
I would say, honestly, going back to basketball BC, the Langfords, and I'm not just saying this because like basketball BC, whatever, but like they always saw my potential and always believed in me. And even like during those times in high school, like that's a crucial period, whether you're going to sink or swim, especially if you want to make basketball a career or make something out of yourself. And they always saw my potential. And I know that there was a number of coaches at that time who didn't for whatever reason, or
you actually had more haters than were necessary actually behind the scenes.
I had so many haters. And Chris Young and I, shout out to Chris, still my girl. We always laugh about like people would always say like I never looked like I was working hard. I don't know if that was just because I was like a long body and I just kind of like, I don't know, moved like weird, but I don't know. It was just always kind of like a thing. And I was like, my pulse is at like 190. Like, I promise you I'm working hard, okay? Like,
well, you know what? I think you and Niall had the same thing, right? You're both very fluid athletes, and some people's bodies just move better than other people. I mean, like if you see me play and you're like, wow, that guy's working hard, but it's like, it's because I got nothing to back it up with. It's just, some people, but that was definitely a knock on you. And it's kind of funny that the two of you are the ones still playing out of all the people, like pretty much in the whole country. Like there's probably a handful of people in the entire country still playing your age. And it's like, you guys have obviously kept putting in the work and getting better. And it's been cool to see from the sidelines. So you have that, give me like a game day prep. Sorry, I'm trying to get a few things for some kids so that they can kind of learn from it. Do you have like a game day prep that you think, some of the things that you did were really important and get you going?
No.
So you just show up and just play.
I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm not a routine person. Like I do random things. Like I'm not really into that. But I think it's great for people that are, but it's just not me. So no.
No, that's fine. Listen, it's been great to catch up. I think you're a great example for a lot of the kids. We've got a lot of kids in our program. I want to make sure they watch it all. I want them to see, what's possible, right? And I think when you were growing up, sometimes we would share some things with people that, you could see what was out there and you could see what other, best great players look like. And for you to end up keep playing after all these years, you go down south, get out of your comfort zone. I think the story for me is, somebody who's willing to keep challenging herself to experience new things, to keep getting better and to keep trying to kind of see what's out there. And I think it's worked out really cool from the outside looking in. Obviously I'm not, intricately involved in your life, but I see it from the outside and kind of see like, listen, this girl keeps doing it and it's cool to see.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. All righty. Well, take care. Good luck this year with your season. And we'll make sure we talk soon.